Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. You're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the Home Team Network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. I'm Riley Angel here with you today for this finale and rubber match between the Lake Erie Crushers and your Evansville Otters. Yesterday, it was a 9-5 loss for Evansville against Lake Erie. Let's recap that one real quick. It all started with Evansville getting off to another hot start offensively, a catcher's interference call put Graham Brown on first base before he promptly stole second. He was then, later in the inning, driven in by an L.J. Jones RBI double, and Logan Brown would drive in Jones later on with an RBI single. John Beamer got the start yesterday for Evansville and worked a clean first inning after hitting a batter. In the second inning, Lake Erie would come right back and score two of their own after a leadoff walk, and later on in the inning, an RBI single, and an error that eventually scored another run. In the third inning, Lake Erie scored three on an RBI triple from Alfredo Gonzalez, and then a couple more hits down the way. Evansville did fight back in the fourth. Keenan Taylor, a leadoff triple, and then was driven in by a Logan Brown groundout. Lake Erie would score again in the bottom of the fifth. They scored twice. In the bottom of the eighth, they scored twice as well, and the Evansville Otters eventually fell 9-5 in that one. A couple of good performances, though, for Evansville. Keenan Taylor went 3 for 4, just a homer away from the cycle, and RBI for him as well. Dennis Pierce, in his first professional game, got a double. He had his first professional hit in that sixth inning yesterday. Tonight, Evansville looks to rebound after that one and get their first road series win of this season. They currently sit at 12-15 on this year. Lake Erie 14-13. In the Central Division, where both of these teams reside, it is Washington atop the standings at 15-12. Lake Erie just one game back at that 14-13 mark. Evansville 3 games back, and then Florence 3.5 games back at 12-16. A couple of changes today in the lineup for Evansville. One big one that I really want to point out is Keenan Taylor is getting his first start in the infield tonight. He will be playing third base and batting second for the Otters. With that, Paven Parks shifts to shortstop, and then Ellis Schwartz and Dennis Pierce, two newcomers to this team over the past week or so. They are getting the corner outfield spots here tonight. Evansville will send Braden Scott onto the mound for yet another start. Scott has been this ball club's ace so far in 2025, as he was last year in 2024. Through 5 starts so far this year, in total, he has thrown 27 and 2/3 innings and has been very effective. Evansville 4-1 in his 5 starts so far this year. In total, a 5.21 ERA for him, but that really doesn't tell the whole story. His last time out against Washington, he finally got a win in that win column. He went 6 innings, allowing 1 run on just 5 hits, striking out 6, and working around 5 walks. Hopefully, we get that version of Braden Scott here tonight, because if we do, man, oh man, it'll be a good one for Evansville. When we come back, we'll go through both starting lineups. We'll talk a little bit more about both starting pitchers. Thank you so much for joining me on the Papa John's pregame show. Just a reminder, Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the Home Team Network, and on 96.9 WYIR. Stay tuned on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network for starting lineups coming up next.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Hello, everyone, and once again, welcome in to Crushers Stadium here in Avon, Ohio, just about 30 minutes outside of downtown Cleveland. You're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the home team network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. Speaking of the home team network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game in 2025. I'm Riley Angel here with you for this rubber match of this three-game set between the Crushers and the Otters. Evansville looking for their first road series win here in this campaign. Let's take a look at both starting lineups here tonight, starting with the Lake Erie Crushers, who, against the left-handed pitching Braden Scott, only have two left-handers in their starting nine. It all begins with Alex Harrell at the top. He is playing right field tonight. Then Jared Watkins, the second baseman, batting second. Dario Gomez, he had a really good night yesterday. He is in center field batting third. Former big leaguer Alfredo Gonzalez, the first baseman, batting fourth. Then it's Burl Dixon, one of the two left-handers in this lineup, in the left field batting fifth. Derek Vegas is behind the plate. He's batting sixth. Then Davey Morgan, the third baseman, batting seventh. Sam Franco, DHing, batting eighth. Logan Thomason, the shortstop, rounding it out in the ninth spot. Ethan Smith will be on the mound for Lake Erie. We'll get to him in just a moment. For Evansville, it is as follows. Ellis Schwartz leading it off in left field. Then Keenan Taylor all the way up at the two spot for the first time this year. Also at the hot corner at third base for the first time this season. Graham Brown batting third in center field. JT Benson cleaning it up. He is DHing for the third straight game. Paven Parks shifts over to short. He's batting fifth. Then Dennis Pierce, the right fielder, batting sixth. Logan Brown at first base, batting seventh. Justin Felix catching Braden Scott. He is batting eighth. And J.J. Cruz, the second baseman, rounding it out in the nine hole. For Evansville, obviously those changes are Keenan Taylor on the infield for the first time this year at third base. Graham Brown goes down to the three hole here in this one, where he has spent most of his time batting second this year. In fact, this will only be Graham Brown's fourth time batting third this season. Cleaning up, JT Benson gets his third straight start at DH. I think that's a big tell for him, still trying to work through that side injury, but with his bat in the lineup, this team is a whole lot better. Let's take a look at the opposing starter for Lake Erie, the guy who will be on the mound first here tonight, in Ethan Smith. Yesterday, we saw Lake Erie's best, and boy, did the offense show up and was ready to play. They scored 4 runs against the Frontier League's ERA leader, Anthony Escobar, and today, at least statistically, it looks a whole lot easier for Evansville. Ethan Smith, in 4 starts this year, 1-2 with a 6.23 ERA. 17 and a third innings pitched. He has struck out 15, walked 6, but he's given up 12 runs in those 17 innings. So, if this offense is ready to hit and shows up like they did yesterday, I feel like this is one that Evansville really has a chance at, and that would mean that the morale would be high with Windy City coming into town to Bosse Field this weekend before the off day on Monday. For Lake Erie, Dario Gomez has shifted around a lot in their lineup so far this week. He began the series by leading off on Tuesday, then yesterday batted all the way down at 8, But after a 3-for-4 performance with 2 RBI and a homer, he is all the way up in the 3 hole for this Crushers team. Umpiring tonight behind the plate, Blake McKnight at first base, Kevin Furman, the crew chief, at third base, Jordan Alfonso, here for game 29 of this Otters regular season. Overall this year against Lake Erie, Evansville has just lost one. They are 3-1 in 2025, 2-0 at home. And again, remember that suspended game on May 25th will be made up later this season in Evansville on July 29th. So we'll see how that one eventually ends up, but that one tied going into the 10th inning. So much to think about here in this one. Again, both these teams played really well these first 2 games, and for Evansville, the offense was really good in both games. And with Dennis Pierce now in the lineup every day, it looks like he's going to be, if he's able to provide the same amount of offense he provided at East Stroudsburg, a Division II college, earlier this year, even coming off of 56 games played there, he can be a real help to this Evansville lineup. Another thing to note, LJ Jones getting an off day here tonight. He usually bats in the 4th spot playing first base. There's no indication that he's still dealing with that ankle injury. So that is good news. Just a day off for him. And hopefully tomorrow he is back in that lineup at 6:35 p.m. against Windy City because he has been a monster. Streak-wise, Keenan Taylor, his hitting streak is up to 7. His on-base streak is also one of the tops on the team at 12. He only trails LJ Jones in that department, who's now at 17 for him, also with a 12-game hitting streak for Jones. But again, he is not in the lineup tonight. Starting lineups in National Anthem about to be announced when we come back. It's first pitch here just outside of Cleveland, Ohio at Crusher Stadium. Stay tuned for Evansville Otters baseball on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDcasa.com.
National anthem just concluding. Bout ready for baseball here in Avon, Ohio at Crushers Stadium. I'm Riley Angel here with you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Wednesday night to listen to some Otters baseball. Ethan Smith taking the mound for the Crushers. We'll see how he does here tonight. As mentioned in the Papa John's pregame show, if you were here with us, he is statistically, again, only statistically, one of the easier pitchers that Evansville has faced here this week. Smith, 6.23, his ERA, 1-2. His record in 4 starts, he's gone 17 and a third innings, struck out 15, he's walked 6, and in those 17 innings has given up 12 runs. We'll see how he does here against this Evansville lineup, which does have some changes to it. Ellis Schwartz, Keenan Taylor, Graham Brown, the three up at the top. We'll see how that trio does to begin this ball game. 325 down the line here at Crusher Stadium, 400 to dead center field. Shorter fence, only about 8 feet, ranging from both lines to about right center and left center before it straightens out and the wall gets a little higher to dead center, just where the batter's eye extends upward. About 100 feet to the right of the ballpark is the highway. It runs diagonally from behind home plate to right center field. Again, consistently about 100, 150 so feet away from the ballpark. Here comes Ellis Schwartz to lead us off here tonight at Crushers Stadium. Schwartz, left-handed hitter against Smith, the right-handed pitcher. Decent crowd on hand here in Crusher Stadium as Ethan Smith kicks back and fires the first pitch. Swung on, rocket the other way and fouled on the third baseline, 0-1. 69 degrees our game time temp. Wind howling in from right center field, 10 miles per hour. The 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 0-2. And it's blowing straight in. At least I've talked about in the past couple of days how usually this is a very pitcher friendly ballpark. Definitely showing its teeth here tonight with that wind. If you want to hit one out to right, you have to really get a hold of it. The 0-2 pitch to Schwartz. Swung on, line drive left center field. Over to it is Dixon, who makes the catch as it slices into his glove for out number one. Now here's Keenan Taylor, the third baseman so far tonight for Evansville. We'll see how he does this year. In all of his starts, he has either played in left field or he is DH'd. The first pitch is in there for a strike at the letters, 0-1. He was taking a lot of ground balls during batting practice today, which is a good sign. The 0-1 pitch. Just high on the slider, 1-1. And he looked good over there. He was listed as an infielder coming into camp. So keep that in mind. The 1-1 pitch. Checked his swing and he did not go around. 2-1 on the high fastball. And if Taylor's able to give this Otters team consistent infield reps, that just opens up things for the new acquisitions in the outfield. The 2-1 in there for a strike, 2-2. And with how crowded the outfield is, especially if Keenan Taylor's a part of that conversation, it would be really nice for him to carve his way some infield starts. The 2-2 pitch. High, 3-2. So all that to say, I think it's a great thing that Keenan Taylor is in the infield tonight. Now we are on an artificial surface here in Crusher Stadium, so the bad hop's not as big of a concern as what it would be at Bossy Field, the 3-2. Swung on, fouled back. That's our first overhead foul ball of the night. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. But it's probably a good thing that it's getting that first look here on an artificial field. Smith, the 3-2. Swung on, line drive right center field. Racing towards it, the center fielder Gomez, who makes the catch on the run for the second out. Evansville in their road gray pants, blue unis with white lettering across the front and back. No trim for them. Lake Erie, home white pants, purple jerseys, white lettering across the front, numbers on the front as well as on the back. White hat, purple brim. The first pitch now, Graham Brown is swung on and fouled back, 0-1. Partly cloudy today in Avon as the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back as well, 0-2. This Otters team continuing their aggressive approach early in at-bats, especially early in games, like they have so far this week, the 0-2. Missed just high, 1-2. Infield playing Brown to pull, outfield straight up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tipped at the plate. We'll do it again at 1-2. You can really feel this one. Usually I like to have the window open in front of me up here in the booth, but it is certainly closed today because of all the papers that would be scattered if it was open. The 1-2 pitch. Missed inside and high on the fastball, 2-2. Ethan Smith's pant legs on the mound, whipping all about thanks to the aggressive breeze. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Smith out of the windup in the pitch. High, 3-2. So 2 straight Otters have now worked the count full. Bases empty, just getting this one going. No score here in the top of the first. Once again, out of the windup is Smith. The payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled right back into the screen. Will stay at 3-2. Evansville would really like their third road win of the year, first road series win. 3-2. Missed outside, ball 4, and that's how you get it started. Graham Brown, a 2-out walk, brings up JT Benson. Benson yesterday went 0 for 4. He is so far gotten 2 hits in this series, both of them coming on a 2 for 4 day on Tuesday. Here's the pitch to Benson. High, 1-0. We'll see what Graham Brown decides to do here. He has 11 stolen bases on the year, but again, with 2 outs and only the first inning, we'll see how much they want to test Vegas behind the plate. Pickoff throw, not nearly in time. One and 0 the count, 2 outs. Benson the batter. Brown on first. Smith out of the stretch. Holds it, and the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. I know it's only 2 pitches, but so far out of the stretch, doesn't seem to have the same command. Again, only 2 pitches, very small sample size. Brown, a modest lead at first, nothing crazy. Holding him is Gonzalez over there. The 2-0. Up and away for a ball, 3-0 on the fastball. Pavin Parks stands on deck, batting 5th tonight. The 3-0. Outside ball 4, so 2 straight, 2-out walks. First to Brown, then to JT Benson. That brings up Pavin Parks, who had an RBI single last night, was robbed of a homer in game 1. The left-handed hitter awaits the first pitch from the right-handed throwing Ethan Smith. Up and away for a ball, 1-0. So now I think it's more of a concern if you're Lake Erie that Smith has yet to throw a strike when pitching out of the stretch after the 2-out walk to Graham Brown. And for Evansville, a good sign, especially if you can get consistent traffic. 1-0. Ball 2 inside, 2-0. That is now 6 straight misses. Well, 7 straight in total. 6 straight out of the stretch. Smith sets the 2-0 here to Pavin Parks. That one finds the zone down the middle on the fastball, 2-1. So there it is finally from Smith. Earlier today, not a cloud in the sky. Now starting to see some cloud cover. but no rain on the radar. The 2-1. Inside 3-1. Infield on an aggressive pull shift. Outfield, no shift for them. Maybe slightly in center. Gomez shifted a little bit to right center field, but nothing crazy to note there. The 3-1 called a strike on the up and away corner, 3-2. Pavin looked like he was taking all the way. So a payoff pitch here in this top half of the first. Otters trying to strike first for the third straight game. Smith looks in, sets, hands at the chest. The 3-2. Swung on, grounded to second, over to it. Watkins, who fields and tosses over to first with no trouble. So the Otters get some traffic but can't capitalize. They leave two. No score halfway through one here on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Welcome back here, fans, to Crusher Stadium. Braden Scott on the mound. Something interesting just taking place. He slipped on the landing pad on this artificial surface out there on the bump during his warm-up pitches. So out right now, watching him take a few more warm-up throws is the trainer as well as Max Peterson. It looked like he might have rolled his landing ankle when pitching there and once again looks down towards it. So he's going to just continue to toss his warm-up throws here. Says he's all right, so big sigh of relief from every Otters fan in attendance, especially me. So we now take a look at Braden Scott's numbers now that he seems to be okay. Braden Scott coming into this one here tonight has a 1-0 record, 5.21 his ERA. Last time out went 6 innings strong, giving up just 1 earned against Washington, striking out 6 in an eventual Otters win. The defense behind him is as follows. Again, a little different than usual. Ellis Schwartz in left field, Graham Brown in center, Pierce, Dennis Pierce in right field. At third base, Keenan Taylor. At short, Pavin Parks. Second, J.J. Cruz. At first, Logan Brown. Behind the plate is Justin Felix. Remember that pitcher-catcher battery? Braden Scott on the mound and Justin Felix behind the plate is brought to you by The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Queen River Road, or call at 812-475-9000 for all your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East. Here's Alex Harrell. Harrell awaits the first pitch and takes it in there for a strike, 0-1. Braden Scott, a guy that will sit around 90, high 80s, low 90s on the fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. The 0-1 in there for a strike, 0-2. And when he looks good, he looks really good. 0-2 the count, nobody out. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. How about that for a start? 1, 2, 3 goes down Alex Harrell for Braden Scott's first German American Bank strikeout of the night. Watkins now batting. First pitch to him is in there for a strike 0-1. He's one of the two left-handed batters against the left-handed thrower and Braden Scott in the lineup for the Crushers tonight. The 0-1. In there, 0-2. 372 is average, 937 the OPS. 5 RBI, 3 doubles, 5 walks so far this year. The 0-2. Swung on, fouled right back into the screen. We'll do it again at 0-2. Again, last time out, Braden Scott looked dominant, and that was after a really rough one against Florence, where he worked through, giving up 10 hits and 7 runs in 6 innings. 0-2 is high, 1-2. Still seems like Braden Scott is struggling on that artificial mound out there to find his footing when he lands. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, shot the opposite way down the third baseline and foul. Count stays at 1-2. So that's something to keep an eye on. It's just interesting that his first warm-up throw, he fell and twisted the ankle on it and still just hasn't quite been able to find the feel. 2-2 now as the fastball misses high. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. First 2 go down via the punchy. Braden Scott is second German-American bank strikeout. Here's Dario Gomez. Gomez, a homer last night during a 3-for-4 day. The first pitch he sees is swung right through on the slider, 0-1. He's batted cleanup, he's batted first, 8th, and now 3rd. The 0-1 inside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Swung right through it on the fastball, 1-2. Boy. Braden Scott, this is how he started against Washington, too. Really quick, struck out the side to begin that game against the Wild Things. Then settled in and pitched around some traffic to go 6 strong. The 1-2, high, 2-2. The veteran definitely knows how to work his way through James, but he's even better out of the windup. The 2-2. Cold strike, 3-1/2. Braden Scott strikes out the side in the first. No score. We go to the top half of 2. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Casa.com.
It'll be the Otters newcomer, Dennis Pierce, to lead us off here in this top half of the second. Pierce yesterday got his first professional hit. It was a double in the left center field gap. He went 1 for 4 total last night. See how he does as he leads off here in this top half of the second inning. The first pitch to the right-handed batter is taken on the inner half for a ball, 1-0. Evansville with two-out walks in the first, just couldn't bring anyone home. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball fairly deep out to left. Back on it, Benson at the track, at the wall. See ya! Dennis Pierce, solo shot, 1-0 Otters. Two hits, two extra base hits for him here in his first two games in an Otters uniform. How about that? Hit 19 homers at East Stroudsburg in his senior season in college. And his first one as an Otter is to left field here in Avon, Ohio, as Logan Brown takes a ball inside 1-0. So once again, the Otters strike first, the 1-0 pitch outside 2-0. With Braden Scott on the mound and how he looked in that first inning, got to be pretty happy with that. 2-0 to Brown, outside 3-0. And now you've got a lead on a guy that his first inning plus has struggled with command, the 3-0. Taking all the way was Logan Brown, and he takes ball 4 on a fastball in the outer half. And now Justin Felix. Felix getting his first start this series. We'll see how he does. Felix this year, a homer, 7 ribbies, 2 doubles. And the first pitch he sees is taken outside, ball 1. So now that's 5 straight misses after the solo homer from Dennis Pierce. Boy, Dennis Pierce out in right field. We knew how good of an offensive player he was in college at the Division II level coming in. And if he's able to produce at that level here in the Frontier League with Evansville, that just puts another huge bat in the middle of this lineup, which 1 through 4 looks really good. The 1-0 in there for a strike, 1-1. Really even 1 through 6, because now LJ Jones getting the day off tonight. You think you have a Jones, Benson, Taylor, Brown, and Dennis Pierce all clicking in this lineup? Man, the 1-1. Bender in there for a strike, 1-2. Especially now, if Keenan Taylor is going to get consistent looks at the top half of this order, again tonight batting second, then look out. The Central Division and the entire Midwest Conference, the 1-2. Swung right through it out in front of the slider. First strikeout for Ethan Smith. J.J. Cruz in the 9-hole tonight, now batting. First pitch to him. Missed it on the inside, 1-0. 1-0 Otters, top of the second. Runner on first base is Logan Brown. 1-0 pitch now to the Otters second baseman. Swung on, looping line drive out into shallow right. That's going to drop down for a base hit. So Logan Brown now moves to second, and J.J. Cruz flips to the top of the order now with 2 on. Brings up Ellis Schwartz. Schwartz 0 for 1. He flew out to medium deep left field his first time. And the pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0. Infield double play depth. Outfield straight up. Wind still really blowing in from right center. It's picked up even now. The 1-0 inside 2-0. Ellis Schwartz, another newer addition to this Otters team. Not as new as Dennis Pierce, who was just in his second career game, but Schwartz coming in last week. The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled back into the screen, 2-1. And he's made a positive impact at the top of this order as well. Batting leadoff in every one of his starts so far. Has an aggressive approach, but it's worked out. The 2-1. Swung right through it a little out in front of the changeup, 2-2. And again, this an Otters offense that has all the makings of an over 500 team. Just a little bit of inconsistency out of the spring, which will happen. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Ethan Smith. And again, you really just want to be playing your best baseball by the time you get to July and August. Here in May and June, just want to keep yourself afloat, keep yourself in the race while everything is figured out. Here comes Keenan Taylor. 2 on, 2 out for him. And the first pitch. Bender misses inside, 1-0. Taylor leading this team still in 2-out RBI. I feel like we say it every night. He has 11 of them. The 1-0. High, 2-0. And it seems like every time there's runners in scoring position with 2 outs, this is the guy that is up. Taylor batting .372 here so far this year. OPS at 1,117. 5 homers, 21 ribbies, 12 walks, 8 stolen bases. This kid can do it all. The 2-0. Up and in. Made him take a knee on that one, falling away. 3-0. So Keenan ahead in the count. 3 balls, no strikes. We'll see if he has the green light. Smith looks in. Sets. Hands chest high. And out of the stretch. Keenan taking all the way. 3-1. Evansville with a chance to add even more. Runners on first and second, 2 away, top 2, 1-0 Evansville. Taylor the batter, and the pitch. Swung on, bounced foul on a real hard swing from Taylor, 3-2. So another payoff pitch. Boy, they've been making Smith work hard these first couple of frames. Taylor stands in on the right-handed side. The Crusher starter and Smith sets. Here it is. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Ethan Smith strikes out 3 in the second inning, but not before Dennis Pierce gets a hold of one to put the Otters in front 1-0. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Otters on 96.9 WYR and the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800.
Braden Scott back on the mound here in this one. 1-0 Evansville, bottom half of the second inning. It'll be Alfredo Gonzalez to bat. Gonzalez this year, 314 the average, 907 the OPS. And the first pitch to him is up and away for a ball, 1-0. Braden Scott, after a bit of a mishap during his warm-ups, struck out the side in the first inning. The 1-0. Swung on, jam shot, slicing down the right field line. That's going to get down for a base hit and roll all the way into the bullpen. Softly hit and running over to it is Pierce. Alfredo Gonzalez stands up at second base for a leadoff double. And with Alfredo, one of the few hitters that the Otters will have an aggressive pull shift on, both in the outfield and the infield, that jam shot looper over the head of Logan Brown at first gets him all the way to second base. And now runner in scoring position for Burl Dixon. He's the second and last left-handed hitter in this Crushers lineup. The pitch. Up and in for a ball, 1-0. He's had a good year himself. 333 average, 973 OPS. He's walked 18 times. Scott agrees with Felix and says, looks back towards second and the 1-0. Scoring around as Dixon puts it down perfectly down the first baseline, but he's going to be tagged out for the first out of the inning. Advancing to third is Gonzalez. So it gets the job done. And now the tying run 90 feet away here in this bottom half of the second inning. The Crushers, a team that's not going to give up. We saw that yesterday after they trailed early and came back and eventually won that ball game. As here is Derek Vegas, the first pitch to him. Bullseye on the curve, 0-1. Parks at short, slightly shifted towards shallow left field. Cruz, the traditional second base position for him. The 0-1. High, 1-1. Outfield straight up as well. Scott, the veteran pitcher, looks in and sets. Out of the stretch, he looks towards Gonzalez and fires the 1-1. Inside, 2-1. It's Vegas and then Davey Morgan. And then if it were to get to him, Sam Franco is in the hole. 2-1 the pitch. Up and away, 3-1. So quickly falling behind here is Braden Scott. Steps back on the rubber, standing on the far third base side of it. Sets hands belt high. The left-hander delivers the 3-1. Swung on, foul tipped at the plate, 3-2. Evansville travels back home tomorrow for a weekend set against the Windy City Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, man, they're struggling. The 3-2 just misses outside. I think everyone in this building, including Vegas, thought that was strike three, except for Blake McKnight. Here's Davey Morgan. Man, would have really liked that one, but now at least a ground ball gets you a double play and out of the inning. So infield will go to double play depth. Here's Davey Morgan. 1-0 Otters. Bottom of the second, one away. Runners at the corners for the Crushers. Here's the first pitch to Morgan. Swung on, grounded, diving stop by Cruz. Flips to second for one, throw to first. Not in time. Beat it by just half a step, did Morgan. But boy, what a play by J.J. Cruz at second base. It'll go down as a fielder's choice, and a run came in to tie it at one. But what an effort over there. Now here's Sam Franco. First pitch to him. Runner goes inside for a strike. Throw down to second is in time. They cut him down trying to take second base. So Lake Erie responds. It's 1-1. We go to the top of the third. You're listening on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
Ethan Smith back out there here in this top of the third. It'll be Graham Brown, JT Benson, Pavin Parks, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for him. All knotted up at one apiece here in this top half of the third inning. Real close was Braden Scott to getting out of it without giving up a run on a diving play by J.J. Cruz, but just not quite in time down the first baseline for out number 3. Does give up the run, but no other damage done. The Otters try to respond. Smith, the first pitch to Graham Brown, is swung on and missed, 0-1. Graham Brown, another one of these guys that has had such a hot start this year. The 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 0-2. 5 homers, 20 ribbies. OPS at 925. Plays a really good center field as well. The 0-2. Swung on high, pop-up shallow center. And on it is Dario Gomez. He calls everybody off and makes the catch for the first out. Now JT Benson. Benson, right-handed hitter. First pitch from the right-hander in Smith out of the windup. Misses just inside on the breaker, 1-0. Now a pretty much completely overcast sky here above Crusher Stadium. The 1-0. Low, 2-0. So the sun has decided that it's shown its face too much over the last 2 days and orders the clouds to come in. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball, pretty well hit center field. Back on it, Gomez near the track, and boy, the wind just killed it, 2 away. That ball off the bat looked like it was getting out of here no problem, but with the way the wind's blowing today, it just died in the air. If Benson hits that ball yesterday or on Tuesday, it's out of here, no trouble. But today it's just a different beast here in Avon, Ohio. Here's Pavin Parks, the pitch. Misses outside, 1-0. So Smith certainly hasn't had control of his stuff so far tonight. But minimal damage done. He's worked around it, the 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. I mean, as long as you get out, it doesn't really matter how you get them. Smith, deep breath, steps back, kicks and fires. Low, bounced it, 2-1. Evansville 3 games back of Washington, who leads the Central Division. 2 games back of this Lake Erie team. The 2-1. Up and away, 3-1. Evansville looking to leave town winning this series, being a game up. The 3-1. Swung on, grounded, fouled on the first baseline, 3-2. Another payoff pitch. This is the second straight at bat Pavin has worked a full count. Smith battling hard so far against this Otters team. Pavin steps in on the left-handed side, taps both ends of the plate with the head of his bat, and sets. The 3-2. Swung on, fly ball out to right, fairly well hit. Back on it, Harrell at the track, at the wall. See ya! Pavin Parks, a solo blast to put the Otters right back in front, 2-1. Second homer of the year for Pavin, and it's 2-1 Otters. Now here's Dennis Pierce. The pitch. Swung on, short pop up to first, and that ends the inning on the check swing. But Pavin Parks with a solo shot to right through the wind. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Otters on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Bottom half of the third inning. 2-1 Evansville here in this one. Paven parks a solo shot of his own in that third inning, matching Dennis Pierce. And back with the lead is Braden Scott. He will face Sam Franco, the 8-hole hitter here in this one. Franco just under 300 on the average this year, 292 as the first pitch he sees is swung on and missed, 0-1. A homer, 7 RBI, has doubled 5 times though. The 0-1 swung on and missed way out in front of the curve, 0-2. Evansville an early lead, 2-1, bottom 3. The 0-2 bounced it a little down and in, 1-2. Good idea there, tried to go with the backdoor breaker. We'll see now if an up and away fastball is in order. The 1-2, there it is, but he swung on and fouled it right back. We'll stay here at 1-2. Scott working quickly here early in this ball game. He looks in, out of the wind, the 1-2. Low, 2-2. That's how you know he's in his rhythm. Count evened up. The pitch. Cold strike 3 on the inner half. Fourth German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. One away here in the bottom of the third. And here's Logan Thomason. Thomason, the shortstop for this Crushers team. The first pitch. Swung on, bounced foul, 0-1. He's in the lineup every day because of his glove at short. One of the better fielding shortstops that you'll see in the conference. The 0-1 pitch in there, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-1 Otters, bottom 3. The pitch inside, 1-2. Once again, tried with that back foot breaking ball. Last time he did that, threw an up and away fast one. We'll see if Justin Felix feels the same as Scott agrees and fires. There it is, and he got a swing and a miss. Fifth strikeout for Braden Scott here through just 2 2/3. Here's Alex Harrell. Man, oh man. Harrell today, 0 for 1. He was the first strikeout victim of Scott, and the first pitch he sees is outside for a ball, 1-0. A ball, no strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, fouled right back. That overhead foul ball is brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. Next pitch is down and in, 2-1. Infield straight up, same with the outfield. Maybe a little more room down the right field line than usual, but nothing crazy. The 2-1, swung on and missed, 2-2. Count evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom 3. Scott the pitch. Swung on, tapped softly right back to Scott, who will field and toss over to first for the 3rd out. Braden Scott works another 1-2-3 inning. We go now to the 4th. 2-1 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Top half of the 4th inning. 2-1 Evansville here in this rubber match between the Lake Erie Crushers and your Evansville Otters. It's Logan Brown, Justin Felix, J.J. Cruz, the 3-2 up. Logan Brown sets on the left-handed side, and the first pitch to him from Ethan Smith is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Smith certainly hasn't had his A-plus stuff tonight, allowing a lot of base runners on. The 1-0 swung on, foul tipped, 1-1. 3 walks already for him, and he's fallen behind in nearly every count he's been in. The 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. Good news for the Otters. And again, Smith, a guy that came into today struggling. 6.23 is the ERA. The 2-1. Swung on, foul tip down the first base side. It gets him to the seats. 2-2. So Evansville certainly taking advantage of these first 3 innings. Yes, they've only scored 2 runs, but the pitch count way up there for them. No one stirring in the Crushers bullpen yet. You wouldn't really expect that, given we're only in the 4th inning. The 2-2. Low, 3-2. So once again, a payoff pitch incoming to an Evansville Otter. Here it is. Swung on, bouncer up the middle, fielded by Thomason. Throw to first in time for the first out. So here's Justin Felix. Struck out in the second. He was one of 3 batters that Ethan Smith struck out in that second inning. Those 3, the only batters that Smith has struck out. First pitch to Felix. Bender at the letters for a strike, 0-1. No balls, a strike and out. 2-1, the Evansville lead, top 4. The pitch. Swung on, liner down the third base line, and into the bullpen, ricochets into the field of play, so Burl Dixon will take care of it and toss it to a lucky kid in the stands. 0-2 the count. Now the 0-2 offering. Low, 1-2. Infield straight up, same with the outfield. Felix waving that baby blue barreled bat with a black handle. The 1-2 pitch. Checked his swing, but it was called strike three anyway. Fourth strikeout for Ethan Smith. Brings up J.J. Cruz, who singled his last time. Cruz this week really has hit the ball hard, just hasn't found the results for it. So it was good to see him get a little bloop single as the first pitch to him. Places down a bunt, but it drifts foul, 0-1. Because sometimes for a hitter, it can be so frustrating when you hit the ball as hard as he has, but you don't get rewarded on the little things. So I think a bloop single is just what this guy needed. The 0-1. Swung on and missed out in front of the changeup, 0-2. So Smith ahead of another batter here, 0-2. He looks into his battery mate in Vegas. Begins the wind and the pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Watkins fields and throws to first for the third out. So the Otters go down 1, 2, and 3. We're halfway through 4, 2-1 Evansville here on the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
2-1 Evansville, bottom of the fourth. It'll be the middle of the order, and Jared Watkins, Dario Gomez, Alfredo Gonzalez, 2, 3, and 4 due up against Braden Scott, who through the first 3 innings has looked very good. We'll see if he can keep it up here in these middle frames. First pitch here to the second baseman, Jared Watkins. Swung on, lifted in the air to left, fairly shallow. Coming in on it is Schwartz, but he won't be able to get there. It's going to drop in for a single. So Jared Watkins with a leadoff hit here in this fourth inning. Brings up Dario Gomez. Gomez 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out back in the first, part of that striking out the side that Scott did in the first inning. The left-hander with the pitch to Gomez. Gomez squared around, but the ball was low, 1-0. So that'll get Keenan Taylor's attention over at third. Taylor, his first start at third this year tonight. He has yet to see any action over there. We'll see if Gomez tests him with another bunt attempt. He does not. Pitch inside, 2-0. Infield double play depth and no shift. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled back. That overhead foul ball is brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. So 2-1 the count now. Looking over towards first at Watkins is Scott, the 2-1. Swung on, line drive down the left field line. That's going to get down for a base hit. Cutting it off is Schwartz. Spin throw in will hold the runner at second. But that's two straight singles for the Crushers, bringing up Alfredo Gonzalez, who already has doubled tonight. Gonzalez will work with runners in scoring position with nobody out. Runners on first and second. Hard pull shift here is on Gonzalez, even with the way he got his double last time. The pitch. Swung on and missed, way out in front of the bender. 0-1. No balls, a strike, no outs. 2-1, the score. Otters in front. Crushers threatening. Still nobody out in the inning. The 0-1. Swung on, line drive, left center field. That's going to get down for a single. Cutting it off is Graham Brown. They'll go station to station. No one scores. And the Crushers now have bases loaded with nobody out here in this bottom of the fourth. 3 straight singles. 3 straight that have been softly hit. And here's Burl Dixon, a guy that you really don't want to face in a situation like this. Good thing is he signifies right before you get to the bottom of the order. But even this bottom of the order for the Crushers have been swinging it well this week. At first is Gonzalez. Second is Gomez. Third is Watkins. 2-1, bottom of the fourth. No out. Otters ahead. Scott out of the stretch. The pitch. Swung on, fly ball into right. Shallow. Rushing in on it is Pierce. He will make the catch. Never mind, he dropped the baseball. The throw into second is not in time. A run scores. And still nobody out in the inning. And that's one right there where Pierce was worried about the throw before he had the ball in his mitt. An E9. And it's 2-2. Nobody gone. And likely on that, there would have been a play at the plate if the throw is accurate, given how shallow that was hit. In right field, here comes Max Peterson. No change will be made, just going to talk. Man. That just completely shifts the complexion of this fourth inning. Again, only Dennis Pierce's second professional game, but definitely one you want to be made. Scott will fight through it. As 4 straight have reached for Lake Erie. And here's Derek Vegas. Corners playing in the pitch. Outside 1-0. Outfield straight up. Bases still loaded, nobody out. Scott looks in, agrees, and sets. Out of the stretch. Here it is. Just inside. 2-0. So falling behind in the count is Scott. The pitch. That one finds the zone 2-1. No one working on either side. Scott trying to prevent disaster here in this fourth. He sets, looks towards the plate, begins his motion and fires. Swung on, grounded to third. Taylor fields, goes to third for one, across the diamond for a double play. So Taylor on his first attempt converts, but a run does score on the RBI ground out, and the runner at first advances to second. 3-2, Crushers in front now, but boy, I think that it could have been a lot worse. Here's Davey Morgan now, just a runner on second base and 2 outs. The pitch outside, 1-0. Morgan is 0 for 1 tonight in RBI on a fielder's choice. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Ball kicks away on a foul ball. Or was it? Yes, it was. Okay. Burl Dixon was heading to third like he thought it just got away from Felix. I thought I heard that hitting the ball. A ball, a strike, 2 outs. 3-2 Crushers here in this bottom of the fourth. Scott with the pitch. Outside, 2-1. A weird inning, that's for sure, but Scott looking to get out of it with minimal damage. 2-1 the count, 2 outs. 3-2 Crushers, bottom four, the pitch. Called a strike on the inner half. 2-2. Infield, a slight pull shift. Outfield, straight up. Scott, hands belt high. The pitch. Runner goes. Swung on, fouled back into the stands. It'll stay at 2-2. Scott, stoic as usual on the mound, steps off. Looks in and agrees with the first thing Felix puts down. The 2-2. Swung on, bounced to third. Diving stop, Taylor pops to his feet. Throw to first, not quite in time. Good attempt, and that actually saved a run. So all things considered, still could have been worse, but an infield single for Davey Morgan. Here's Sam Franco. Franco 0 for 1, struck out an inning ago in the third. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back. He's the 7th Crusher batter to hit here in the inning. The first 4 all reached base. Vegas grounded into a 5-3 double play. Then an infield single just now from Davey Morgan. The 0-1. Just inside on the fastball, 1-1. Otters not out of the woods quite yet. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. They trail 3-2, bottom of the fourth. The pitch. High, 2-1. This whole series has been back and forth. These two teams evenly matched. 2-1. Swung on, high pop up behind the plate. Back on it, Felix at the warning track makes the catch for out number 3. So the Otters and Braden Scott prevent disaster. We go to the top of the 5th. They trail 3-2 here on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
The Otters now trail it 3-2, but it's the top of the order to up. Ellis Schwartz will begin our Buffalo Wild Wings 5th inning. Fans, it's back at Buffalo Wild Wings. All you can eat wings and fries Mondays through Thursdays, now including traditional wings. That's right. All the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless, $24.99 for traditional wings. So get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time. Dine in only. Visit either Evansville location as the first pitch into Ellis Schwartz is outside for a ball, 1-0. Those Evansville locations are located at 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road. Go to either one of those spots for details. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0. Schwartz tonight, 0 for 2. 3-2, the Crushers now lead at top 5. This is the first time the Otters have trailed in this ballgame. 2-0. Swung on and missed, a little late, 2-1. The Otters, we know they can score in a hurry, and a guy like Smith, who hasn't been able to hit his spots a ton tonight, as the 2-1 pitch. Swung on line drive, but right at the second baseman in Watkins for out number 1. It's another one that hurts. Nice contact from Ellis, but the sinking liner went right to the second baseman. Here's Keenan Taylor. The pitch is low, 1-0. And again, Smith, a guy that he's given the Otters opportunities, walked 3. Evansville only with 3 hits on the night, the 1-0. In there, 1-1. And again, some solid contact, just finding gloves. 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. Smith looks in, begins the wind, kicks and fires. Up and away on the bender, 3-1 the count. Taylor coming into this at bat, 0 for 2, a flyout, a strikeout. Okay, ahead in the count, 3-1 the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into left. Under it is Dixon, fairly deep out there, but playable and makes the catch for the second out. And again, with the way the wind's blowing tonight, yes, Pavin hit one out to right field, which is ridiculous, by the way, with the wind blowing in at 10 miles an hour. in from right field. A lot of those fly balls are going to be knocked down. That usually would spell trouble. First pitch now to Graham Brown is up and away for a ball 1-0. So just the fact that Pavin Parks was able to hit one out to that part of the field really tells you the amount of power he brings in the lineup. The 1-0 in there for a strike, 1-1. The last 6 that Smith has seen have been sent down. 1-1 pitch. Misses inside for a ball, 2-1. Graham Brown had a 2-out walk in the first, trying to spark some more 2-out magic. He's 0 for 1 on the day as a 2-1 offering. Misses outside, 3-1. So once again, here's an example of the Otters in a hitter's count. They have 2 homers on the night, just both of them solo shots. The 3-1. Outside ball 4. Fourth walk that Ethan Smith has issued tonight. Coming into today in 4 starts, he had only given up 6 walks. So struggling now a little more than usual. JT Benson now the batter with a runner on first. We'll see if Graham Brown is sent. Again, mentioned it in the first inning. 11 stolen bases on the year. Small lead, though, at first base. The first pitch here to Benson. Swung on high, pop-up foul territory, first base side. Over to it is Gonzalez, but it gets into the first base seating area, 0-1. No balls, a strike, 2 outs. 3-2 the score, top 5. Crushers in front. Runner on first base is Graham Brown. Here's the pitch from Ethan Smith out of the stretch. High, 1-1. Benson, right-handed batter, stands in. Looks up towards Smith and sets. The pitch to him. Runner goes. Up high. Throw down to second from Vegas is in time. And Andy McCauley wants to go and talk to the umpire. Score 3-2, bottom of the 5th. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back here in the 5th inning. And remember, fans, it's back at Buffalo Wild Wings. All you can eat wings and fries Mondays through Thursdays, now including traditional wings. That's right, all the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce. Just $19.99 for boneless, $24.99 for traditional wings. So get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings as the first pitch into Logan Thomason is swung on and missed, 0-1. Mondays through Thursdays, you can get those all you can eat. Is dine-in only. Visit either Evansville location, 5405 Pearl Drive, or 715 North Green River Road for details. So 0-1 the count to Logan Thomason. Here it is. In there, 0-2. 3-2 Crushers, bottom of the fifth. Scott still on the mound. The 0-2 pitch. Up and away, 1-2. Thomason 0 for 1. He struck out in the third. 1-2 pitch. Bounced it, 2-2. The Crushers sent 7 to the plate in the fourth. Scored twice. The 2-2. Swung on, line drive down the left field line, base hit. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Cut off by Schwartz. Thomason hustling his way into second. The throw in, not in time, as Thomason in with a headfirst dive. Leadoff double for the 9-hole hitter brings up Alex Harrell. Harrell 0 for 2. Scott, the left-hander, sets and fires. Harrell squares, puts down a bunt down the first base side. Brown tags him out. Runner at third. At second, advances to third. So another sack bunt. And it brings up Jared Watkins, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the fourth, eventually came around to score. He now works with the runner in scoring position, just 90 feet away. Infield playing in. The pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. A ball, no strikes, and out. 3-2 Crushers, bottom 5. And the Crushers out hitting the Otters so far, 6-3. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 1-1. Scott trying to work through some traffic. A hard hit grounder most likely holds the runner at third, given the infield is playing in. The 1-1. Swung on, drifting foul, and 1-2 now the count. Ahead of Watkins is Scott. The outfield playing straight up. Scott sets against the lefty and Watkins, the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Lake Erie trying to extend this lead now to 4-2. The pitch. Swung on, fouled right back once again. So Watkins continues to battle. The next time these two will play each other will be July 18th through the 20th, once again up here in Avon. The 2-2. Just misses outside. 3-2 the count. Missed by about an eyelash. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A huge strikeout for Braden Scott, his 6th German American Bank strikeout of the night. And here's Dario Gomez. Gomez singled as well in the fourth. He also eventually came around to score. Runner on third base, 2 away for him. Infield right back to playing straight up. Scott sets in the pitch. Swung on, lasered foul on the third baseline, 0-1. Scott has gotten a lot of off-balance swings. Pretty much all the hits today have been to the pull side for the hitter. 0-1 pitch. Bender down and away for a ball, 1-1. Gomez, the right-handed batter, awaits the 1-1 pitch from Scott, who fires now. Swung on and missed on the high fastball, 1-2. Gomez calls his time. Scott will retrieve a new baseball. And Gomez now stands back in. Scott sets on the third base side of the rubber. The left-hander sets, hands belt high. The 1-2. High, 2-2. Thomason with very small lead at third. The pitch. Bounced it, gets away from Felix, pops up in the air, can't find it, and the run scores. So the count now 3-2, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Crushers. So Lake Erie takes their 2-run lead here in this bottom of the fifth. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, line drive, snagged over at first by Logan Brown. So the Crushers get one after a leadoff double and a wild pitch. We go to the top of the sixth, 4-2 Lake Erie. Here on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
New pitcher out on the mound for Lake Erie here in this inning is number 23, Brandon Shire. So Ethan Smith's day is done. And Evansville will have to try and scrape against this lead, against this bullpen. Ethan Smith went 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 3 hits. As JT Benson stands in, and the first pitch to him swung on, high pop-up, slicing down the right field line and getting foul. 0-1. Smith struck out 4, walked 4. Shire sets, the right-handed pitcher, fires the 0-1. Swung on, grounded softly to short. Charging is Thomason. Fields throws to first in time for the first out. Shire, coming into this game, has only pitched once. That was a 2-inning performance where he walked one, struck out one, gave up 2 hits, no runs. He'll now face Pavin Parks, who is 1 for 2 with a homer. And the pitch. Binder in there for a strike, 0-1. So we'll see what kind of damage this Evansville offense can do against the bullpen, which has been so good for Lake Erie this year, the 0-1. Swung on and missed out in front of the curve, 0-2. On deck is Dennis Pierce. 0-2 the count to Pavin. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Count stays at 0-2. Just now entering the twilight hours here in northern Ohio. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled right back into the screen. Count stays. 8:37 Eastern Time, 7:37 back home. 0-2 the count to Pavin. Right-handed pitcher in Shire looks in, agrees, and sets hands belt high. The pitch. Checked his swing. Did Pavin go around? He did not, says the third base umpire. So count 1-2. On deck, Dennis Pierce. After him would be Logan Brown. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled right off. So Pavin stays alive here and is battling. Four to two, the Crusher lead, top six. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, high pop up, shallow left center field. In on it is Dixon, and he makes the catch for the second out. And it's Dennis Pierce now. Pierce 1 for 2 with a homer. And the first pitch he sees of this at bat is in there for a strike on the Binder, 0-1. No shift on Pierce on the infield. Same with the outfield. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to third, just wide of the bag though, so it's 0-2. Evansville, they scored once in the second, once in the third, but other than that, have been held pretty quiet. Just 2 runs on 3 hits. The 0-2 from Shire. Swung on, fouled right back. We'll do it again at 0-2. Temperature slowly dropping to the mid 60s tonight, the 0-2. Swung on, fouled back. Past 2 days, we've seen nothing but sunny skies and high to mid 70 temperatures. And I guess today's a bit of a gut check. The 0-2. Swung on, line drive left center field. This is going to get down past the diving glove of Gomez, rolling all the way to the wall. Pierce chugging around second, heading for third. He's in there head first with a triple. A 2-out triple for Dennis Pierce extends the inning, and now it brings up Logan Brown with a runner at third base. So Dennis Pierce is showing the offensive capabilities that he has. Logan Brown now with a chance to get the Otters one closer. The pitch is down and in for a ball, 1-0. Boy, do the Otters need at least one here to try and get some momentum back on their side. The 1-0 pitch. Checked his swing, missed outside, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Wind picking up. Runner on third is Pierce. The pitch. Bullseye, 2-1. Once again, Shire sets. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Swung on, grounded to first. Backhand play by Gonzalez. Flip to the pitcher covering for the out. So we go to the bottom of the sixth. 4-2 the score. Here in the Otters Digital Network, 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Here's Braden Scott back out on the mound here for this sixth inning. The longest he's gone is 6. He's obviously one of the more trusted arms in this bullpen lengthwise. He'll face Alfredo Gonzalez, Burl Dixon, and Derek Vegas here in this sixth inning. Gonzalez, right-handed hitter, is 2 for 2 against Scott. The first pitch. Swung on, Nubber to second. Backhanded by Cruz. Throw across his body. In time for the out. 1 away. Now Burl Dixon after the quick first out on the first pitch of the inning. Evansville still in this one, 4-2 the score. Crushers in front halfway through 6. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Dixon. In there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Dixon is 0 for 1 with a sac bunt, and then he reached on the error by Pierce in the fourth. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Scott still working quickly and same velocity as he always has, the 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 2-2. Six strikeouts on the day for him. Time called by Dixon. He's worked through a lot of trouble. Somehow only gave up 2 runs in the fourth inning after bases were loaded for the Crushers with nobody out, and one of those runs was unearned. 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Seventh German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. Derek Vegas now batting. Vegas 0 for 1, a walk, a ground out, and an RBI. First pitch he sees is swung on and fouled back into the netting, 0-1. No balls, a strike, 2 outs. Scott the pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Cruz fields, throws, in there, out number 3. So in the sixth, 1-2-3 go the Crushers. We go now to the seventh inning, 4-2, Lake Erie in front on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
It's Shire back on the bump for Lake Erie. He will face 8-9-1, that being Justin Felix, J.J. Cruz, and Ellis Schwartz. The three due up. 4-2 the score, top of the seventh. Crushers lead it. Felix tonight 0 for 2, a couple of Ks. His first time facing Brandon Shire. And the first pitch is low, 1-0. Felix, a guy that will have himself some good at bats, draws walks, and when he makes contact, can really get a hold of him. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed out in front, 1-1. Wind is still just as bad as it was in the first, the 1-1 high, 2-1. Usually you see it kind of fluctuate throughout the game, or it'll be bad at one point and then kind of tail off. But no, it's been consistent tonight, 2-1. Swung on and missed behind the fastball, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out to Justin Felix. Felix standing in on the right side. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's the first strikeout for Brandon Shire. And it's J.J. Cruz now who's 1 for 2. The first pitch to J.J. is taken for a strike 0-1. The corner's playing in, the middle infield straight back. 0-1 the count. The pitch. In the dirt, 1-1. Cruz just trying to flip the order over. A ball, a strike, and out. Top 7, 4-2 Crushers. Here it is. Swung on line drive left field line, but foul. 1-2. A quiet night here in Avon. It's been quiet all 3 nights. Just not a crowd that gets too amped up, to say the least. Though 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Shire sets out of the stretch. The pitch. Swung on, fouled right back. Do it again at 2-2. Shire working exclusively out of the stretch on the mound. No one up in the pen. Again, his last outing, he did go 2 innings. He'll most likely try to stretch him out that far again tonight. The 2-2. Cold strike, 3 at the knees. Second straight strikeout for Brandon Shire, and now it's Ellis Schwartz. Schwartz is 0 for 3. He's lined out, flown out, and struck out. First pitch he sees is swung on and lifted foul into the third base seats. 0-1. Evansville trying to avoid being sent down in order. The pitch. Swung on, line drive, same spot, 0-2. Schwartz will take his time here, regroup after a quick 0-2 count on him. Big deep breath, and he stands right back in the left-handed side. Shire sets, hands belt high. The 0-2. Up and away for a ball, 1-2. Again, tomorrow night, the Otters back at Bosse Field, beginning a 3-game set against Windy City. An off day on Monday, and then Washington comes back to town. 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, 2-2. It would be big if Evansville were able to come back in this one and salvage this series. Take 2 of 3 against Lake Erie in Lake Erie. 2-2. Swung on, grounder up the middle, fielded by Thomason. Throw to first, in there for out number 3. 1-2-3, go the Otters in the 7th. It's stretch time. We go to the bottom half. 4-2 Crushers. You're 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Braden Scott out in the seventh inning after that 1-2-3-6. He'll face the bottom three, Davey Morgan, Sam Franco, and Logan Thomason. Not even anyone stretching in the Otters pen. The pitch. Low for a ball, 1-0. Evansville trails 4-2 here in the bottom of the seventh. There is action in the Lake Erie pen. The next pitch up and away for a ball, 2-0. Lake Erie has Brandon Sittinger warming up. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded to first, fielded by Brown. Race to the bag is Brown's to win. One away. So Brandon Sittinger will most likely get his second opportunity to pitch against this Evansville team. Again, Sittinger, a former Evansville Otter, made his way up all the way to the big leagues. Pitched a couple of games for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now Sam Franco, the batter, the pitch. Inside, 1-0. Scott looking pretty good tonight. Yes, he surrendered 4 runs, but only 3 of them earned. This is 7th inning of work, the 1-0. Swung on, fouled straight back, 1-1. So all in all, Scott has been right there and kept the Otters in this ball game. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike, 1-2. He's also struck out 7 batters to this point, which is his season high. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and out. 4-2 Lake Erie in front, bottom 7. The pitch. Low, 3-2. Scott, the lefty, looks in. Begins his wind. The payoff. Fouled back. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. 3-2. 1 away. Scott, the pitch. Cold strike. 3 inner half. 8th German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. Man, he has been dealing tonight. Here's Logan Thomason, 1 for 2, a double, a strikeout. Right-handed hitter awaits the first offering from Scott. In the dirt, 1-0. Sun's still not fully set here. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. The 1-0. Low, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Infield straight up, same with the outfield, the pitch. That one misses inside too, so it's 3-0. Now some stretching beginning for Evansville as Scott falls behind in the count 3-0. And the pitch to Thomason. Can't quite find the zone there, just missed outside. Just the second walk that has been issued by Scott. And it brings up Alex Harrell, who is 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. Harrell, a right-handed bat. The pitch. Inside 1-0. 5 straight misses now for Scott. Thomason at first. That was his 25th walk of the year. Has a small lead. The 1-0 is made over to first. No play. It's Nick McAuliffe warming up for Evansville. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by Parks, flipped to second in time for the third out. So the Otters will go into the eighth, still down by 2, 4-2. The Crushers lead it at the end of 7. You're listening on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now, in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com.
Brandon Sittinger, the new pitcher for Lake Erie. In 7 appearances this year, 7.22 his ERA, 28 and 2/3 innings pitched. Struck out 30, walked 14. He has given up 26 runs, 23 of them earned. Though he did have 4 starts this year as well before being moved into the bullpen. We saw him earlier this week where he threw 2 innings, didn't give up a hit, struck out 1, walked 1. See what he does here in this top of the 8th, 4-2 Crushers. Keenan Taylor, the batter, to lead us off here in the 8th inning. And the first pitch that Taylor sees from Sittinger is in there for a strike, 0-1. Again, Sittinger, former Evansville Otter, reached the big leagues for a couple of games with Arizona. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2. So obviously the stuff is there. It's just struggled a little bit this season. But he's trusted in a big situation here. 4-2 lead for the Crushers, top 8. Quickly ahead to Taylor, 0-2. The pitch. Swung on high, pop-up. Should be playable. Under it is Vegas watching, makes the catch. So 1 away here in this 8th inning. Here's Graham Brown. Brown 0 for 1, a couple of walks, and he's flown out. Sittinger looks in and sets. The right-hander fires. Swung on, fouled straight back. It's 0-1. So the Evansville offense, ever since that third inning, has been held scoreless. And since that third inning, has only gotten one hit. That the Dennis Pierce triple in the sixth. 0-1 pitch. In there, 0-2. Braden Scott went 7 strong innings on the mound for Evansville, where he struck out 8, gave up 4 runs, only 3 of them earned. Nick McAuliffe is still warming in the pen, so I would imagine he would be coming in to pitch the bottom of the 8th. The 0-2 swung on, high pop-up on the infield. Drifting foul. Over to it is Gonzalez. Makes the catch, 2 away. Now it's JT Benson. Benson 0 for 2 with a walk. Benson, right-handed hitter, looking to extend this 8th inning. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Four to 2, the score. Crushers in front, top 8. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2. So Sittinger definitely has his plus stuff tonight against Evansville, getting a lot of swings and misses. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Evansville would at least like to get a base runner and threaten a little bit here in this inning before most likely getting Michael Brewer in the 9th. The 1-2 swung on, popped up, and foul. Surprisingly, warming up in the bullpen is not Michael Brewer, it's Kenny Pearson, who we've also seen this series. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to JT Benson, the designated hitter today. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Brandon Sittinger looks good in that inning. 1-2-3 go the Otters. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Crushers here on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
Nick McAuliffe in to pitch for Evansville here in the bottom of the eighth. 4-2 Crushers in front. Braden Scott exits after 7 innings, striking out 8, allowing 4 runs, 3 of them earned, walking 2. He had a really good start tonight for Evansville. So far, Evansville not able to get in front, even though he had that good start. And he hands it off to Nick McAuliffe. McAuliffe has been really good this year in his own right. In 8 appearances, has a save, 8 and a third innings pitched, has yet to give up a run. Has struck out 10, walked 3, given up 4 hits. He'll face the top of the order in Jared Watkins, Dario Gomez, and Alfredo Gonzalez, 2, 3, and 4. And McAuliffe, the first pitch to Watkins, in there for a strike, 0-1. Evansville just wants to keep this lead where it is. 4-2, bottom 8. Now warming up in the bullpen is Michael Brewer. Michael Brewer came in last night to shut things down for Evansville, even when Lake Erie was up by 4. Sent the Otters down in order. The 0-1, high, 1-1. Can't look too far ahead, though. Still got to get through this 8th. Deep breath from McAuliffe, the 1-1. Just missing outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield straight up, same with the outfield. The 2-1 to the left-handed hitting Jared Watkins. Swung on line drive down the right field line. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Taking off for second is Watkins. He's going to be there standing. So lead off double here in this 8th frame for Lake Erie. And here's Dario Gomez. Gomez 1 for 3. McAuliffe looks into Felix and sets. Looks back towards second. The pitch. High. 1-0. McAuliffe has gotten in trouble and gotten out of it before. See if he can do the same here in this 8th. The 1-0 pitch. Bender in there. 1-1. Long drive home tonight for Evansville before playing tomorrow night at 6:35. The 1-1 pitch. Inside. It's 2-1. Again, Windy City coming into town this weekend. And that's one the Otters really would like to get all 3 of. As the 2-1 pitch from McAuliffe is high, 3-1. We look around the league, and Gateway throttling the Tri-City Valley Cats 10-5 in ninth. New Jersey over Troyes, 9-0 currently. 6-5 Joliet over Mississippi. McAuliffe, the 3-1 pitch to Gomez, is a high fly ball down the left field line. Racing over to it is Schwartz, but it gets foul. 3-2. Florence still beating up on Windy City 7-3. Brockton beating Down East 9-6. Washington over Schaumburg 5-1. Quebec down 5-2 against Ottawa. They might finally lose a game. Again, Quebec has before tonight won 16 in a row. Then Sussex County beating New York 10-1. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Big German American Bank strikeout there for Nick McAuliffe. And it brings up Alfredo Gonzalez. But Windy City, if that score holds against Florence, that would put them at 7-23 coming into Bosse Field tomorrow. Here's Alfredo Gonzalez, and the first pitch to him swung on and missed on the change, 0-1. So, I mean, I guess that's good news with Evansville welcoming them into town. Again, you can't assume anything, especially in baseball. That's the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, skips away from the catcher and Felix, but not taking off was Watkins. He heads back to the bag at second, 1-1 the count. Bottom 8, 4-2 in favor of Lake Erie. Crushers still threatening here in the eighth, though. One away, runner on second base. Alfredo Gonzalez, the batter. McAuliffe stands in. The right-handed pitcher stands on the far first base side of the rubber and sets the 1-1. Swung on, fouled back, 1-2. If Washington were to keep that 5-1 lead over Schaumburg, that would give them that series win against Schaumburg, which big deal for them. Schaumburg, very good team, as the Otters know. That would put Washington at 16-12. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Second straight strikeout for Nick McAuliffe, his second German American Bank strikeout. And now it's Burl Dixon. Dixon is 0 for 2. Reached on an error, a strikeout, and a sac bunt. The first pitch he sees is swung on and missed, 0-1. Michael Brewer waiting in the wings with two away here in the eighth. The pitch. Bounced it, 1-1. Fully under the lights now here this Wednesday night against Lake Erie. McAuliffe sets, looks back towards second. Hands belt high. Fires. Swung on, grounded right back and off the glove of McAuliffe. Charging in his Parks. Bare hands, no play. So runners now at the corners after the infield single. And that's one of those where it's just reaction from the pitcher to try and glove it and make the play. But with the ricochet, makes that play nearly impossible for the shortstop and Parks. And again, no blame for anybody there. It's just when you wish either McAuliffe would have snagged it or would have just missed his glove completely, because then Parks would have at least had the chance. But instead, Derek Vega stands in with runners on the corners. The pitch just misses, I guess. 1-0. Maybe outside? If so, it was by a fingernail. The 1-0 from McCollum. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. It was a fake steal. 1-1 the count. Man, those seem to get me every single time. A ball, a strike, 2 outs. Dixon takes his lead. The 1-1. Now the runner goes. Swung on and missed. Throw down from Felix is not in time. Time is called. And they're calling the runner out on an interference play against Justin Felix. So the batter is out. And that is a huge break for Evansville as they get out of this eighth inning on an interesting play that you don't see too often. Top of the ninth, they need 2 to tie. 3 to take the lead. They trail 4-2 here on 96.9 WIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Michael Brewer in to try and get the save. He has been superb this season. Brewer so far in 11 appearances has 5 saves, has given up 1 unearned run, struck out 11, walked out 4. He's walked 4, struck out 11, walked out. Goodness. An 11 in a third innings. Evansville saw this guy last night, and then once in Evansville, Brewer last night retired the side in order. Pavin Parks will face him to start. Brewer, the first pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Evansville trails by 2, 4-2. This team has made bigger comebacks than this in the past. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2 on the changeup. Dennis Pierce on deck. Logan Brown in the hole. So it's Parks, Pierce, Brown, the 3-do. Brewer, the 0-2 offering. Swung on, popped up, and foul. So we'll do it again at 0-2. The pitch to Parks. Swung on, line drive just over the leaping glove of Watkins at second. So a leadoff single for Pavin Parks. Jared Watkins, a leap and just barely missed, robbing Pavin Parks of a hit, and now it's Dennis Pierce. Parks, 6 stolen bases on the year, but I don't know if you send him here. Infield double play depth. The pitch to Pierce. High, 1-0. Evansville trails by 2. Brewer shakes and agrees now. The 1-0. 2-0. Missed high on the fastball. Pretty much just do anything but put it on the ground. If you do put it on the ground, put it on the ground hard enough to where it gets through. 2-0 pitch. Fouled back, 2-1. Wind has now calmed down a tad. Flags still whipping in from right center. The pitch. 3-1 now. Pearson a hitter's count. It has to be perfect to swing here. 3-1 the count. Brewer sets. Out of the stretch. The pitch. Swung on high pop up. Foul territory, first base side, drifting over to it. Gonzalez gets into the seats, 3-2. So a payoff pitch to Dennis Pierce. Pierce all ready tonight. 2 for 3, a triple and a homer. Parks over at first. We'll see if now they send him on a full count just to avoid the double play. You got to trust the guy not to strike. Got to trust the guy not to strike out. 3-2. Called strike 3. Late call. Wow. Pierce thought it was ball 4. Was already heading down to first, and umpire Blake McKnight rung him up. 1 away here in the 9th. Now Logan Brown. First pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left. Back on it is Dixon at the track, and he makes the catch. Two away for Justin Felix, who's 0 for 3 and he struck out 3 times. And knowing Justin Felix, he is going to be swinging with everything he has. Now, Alfredo Gonzalez and Vegas are going to have a meeting on the mound. And Gonzalez, a catcher himself, he's probably seen something in his swings the last 3 times, giving instruction to Vegas and Brewer. It's a pinch hitter. L.J. Jones pinch hitting for Justin Felix now. So Jones getting a shot off the bench. First pitch is taken up and away for a ball, 1-0. So that makes more sense why Gonzalez went to the mound. Gonzalez caught last night whenever Jones was in the lineup. The 1-0. Swung on and missed out in front, 1-1. So if we were to get to the bottom of the 9th, it would be Jones at first and then Logan Brown coming to catch. We have to get there first. L.J. Jones, the last hope. A ball, a strike, 2 outs. Brewer sets the pitch. Swung on, fouled right back and overhead. 1-2. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top 9. L.J. Jones, the tying run. Just trying to extend the game. Brewer looks in, nods, and sets. The pitch. Swung on, popped him up. First base side. Over to it in foul territory is Gonzalez. Ball game. So 4-2 the final in this one. Evansville falls to Lake Erie and they lose this road series. When we come back on the Papa John's post-game show, we'll talk about it a little more. You're listening on 96.9 WYR and the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Welcome back to the Papa John's post-game show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and post-game shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the home team network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. Evansville falls tonight 4-2 against Lake Erie and lose the rubber match here in Avon. Lake Erie had 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Evansville 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. And they fall in this one. Braden Scott was brilliant in the loss, went 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He struck out 8, a season high, only walked 2. Dennis Pierce impressed as well offensively. He had his first professional homer and then a triple later on. He had a 2-for-4 night. Paven Parks with his second homer of the year. He went 2-for-4 as well. That homer was in the 3rd inning. Evansville off to a quick start again in this one. Took a 1-0 lead in the second, then a 2-1 lead in the third. But after a 2-run 4th inning from Lake Erie, Evansville went quiet from the 4th on to lose this one by 2. Tomorrow they play at 6:35 at Bosse Field. They return for a 6-game homestand. The first 3-game set will be against Windy City. Windy City has struggled this year, so hopefully Evansville can take advantage of that. Windy City now sits at 7-23. They have lost 5 in a row with their loss tonight. After that series against Windy City, Washington comes back to town. Washington in first place and will keep that first place crown as they are up 12-1 over Schaumburg in the top of the 9th. So they will go to 16-12 once that game is final, unless Schaumburg has a miraculous comeback. Evansville falls to 12-16 now and will fall to 4th place in the Central Division with Florence's win over Windy City. So a tough one here tonight. Lake Erie moves to 15-13. Evansville just couldn't get anything going really after that early lead and couldn't quite find out Ethan Smith and the rest of this bullpen when Brandon Scher, Brandon Sittinger, and Michael Brewer came in. Again, just one of those nights where you struggle a little bit, but it is what it is. Tomorrow, a new ball game and a new day. So thank you so much for listening to the Papa John's post-game show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and post-game shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the home team network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. So Evansville falls 4-2 in this one. Tomorrow, 6:35 p.m. Central Time against Windy City at Bosse Field for the beginning of a 3-game weekend set. So I'm Riley Angel, and as